This is the demo of the SimpleDataLabs product running on Amazon, and you log in using your browser. This is a SaaS product. I'll use one of my Google accounts. Now here, I'll be able to build workflows and execute them without writing a single line of code or ever seeing a Hadoop cluster that's being run. So as I come into the product, I have a menu where I can build workflows, I can browse the other artifacts or look at my execution history. Now, this is the last workflow that was open, so there's a couple of them open. You have the operators to get data in from on-premise, from Amazon S3 or database. You have SQL operations, machine learning, visualize, etc. Now I'm going to hit play here. This is going to generate Spark code that is going to run on a cluster. Now let's go and look at what the data set looks like. So what we have is the 20 newsgroup data set that has labeled articles. So in alt.atheism, there's articles in that news group. So 4 of these are science news groups. So what we're going to do today is we're going to separate the science ones from the not science ones. So let's go back. The data has come back. Let's look at what we read. So what we have is the file names and the contents of each of those files. Okay, this looks good, but I can't run machine learning on this. So let's apply some functions and put the data in a format we want. So what we want to do is we want to extract out this topic, get an ID and so on, and then I want to say whether it's like science or not. So I want to apply a bunch of functions, and what we have is a lot of inbuilt functions that we can use. So let's go back into the workflow and see what happened after we applied those functions. Now I've extracted the ID, the topic, and then I have a label saying whether it's science or not. Now let's take these articles and split them up. We're going to put 90% of the data in to train the machine learning pipeline and the other 10% to test it. So now once we train the model and run the test, let's see what happens. So we get the original 4 columns, then we have the columns introduced by machine learning. But if the label and our prediction match, that means we've predicted it correctly, right? So that's what we want to know. So let's look at what the results are. So we look at the pie chart and we can see that the green ones and the orange ones are the ones that we predicted correctly as science or not. And then we have some errors, very few of them. So false positives are 5. Maybe I want to dig into them and see why. So I'm going to filter out the false positives, select the columns I want to look at, and then I'm going to look at them. Okay, so these 5 articles are not science. This is religion, but let's see what it's talking about. It's talking about astronomy, physics, creation. What are these for sale articles selling? Oh, this electronic components. Okay, that makes sense. So I understand my model. So now let's step back. I was able to load in data without any preparation, put it in a format good for machine learning, run a machine learning pipeline, look at how it did, and then I was able to dig into the data that I wanted and see why it did it. So you can see we can do all of this without writing code, without ever seeing a big data cluster. Hope you enjoyed the demo.